Are you ready? Are you really ready to become a solo diver? Let's find out. Welcome to Everything Scuba. Hey guys, what's happening? Welcome to Everything Scuba. I'm Lyell. If this is your first time to our channel, we want to welcome you. We are here talking about the sport that we love. So if you're a scuba diver, dive into Everything Scuba. We would love to have you join us on our weekly shows. We are going to talk today about how do you know you are ready to become a solo diver, a self-reliant diver. You've proven it in the classroom. You've proven it with your gear setup. Now let's put you in the water and figure out if you can do what is required to become a safe solo diver. We are going to go visit with my good friends, Mark Lindsay, course director, owner of Sweet Bottom Dive Center down in St. Croix, and a guy that many of you who watch scuba channels already know, Jeff. Jeff is the creator for Triton's Realm. Him and his wife and son do some phenomenal adventure dives. If you haven't visited them before, click the link up above. Go visit them after watching this show though first. We are going to look first at all of the gear that we've looked at that we have told you is the must-have and the essential gear. How do we put all of that together? What is the different gear setups? Jeff and I are going to dive a different bit of a setup. One of us is going to have a side slung stage bottle. One of us is going to have a pony tank that is actually attached to our primary tank in behind us. So let's take a look at that setup.
On this Lyell, we have a 30 cubic foot aluminum cylinder, and it's a standard stage mount kit. And so if you look over here, you'll see that it clips on the top and it clips on the bottom. And this is all part of the kit that goes on the bottle. Now, the other portion that goes along with it is going to be these two retention bands. And so what we do is we just nicely put the regulator hose so that it's nice and streamlined and out of the way. And then we can go ahead and the mouthpiece will fit right in there. But on this one, we also have a little swivel snap bolt just to give it a little bit more. Okay. Now, one of the things that we're going to have to do is we're going to have to offset the weight of this bottle. And so we figured that it weighs anywhere from 2 to 3 pounds. It depends on what the diver's preference is. So Jeff would then remove 2 to 3 pounds of weight from this side, and the bottle would be that additional weight.
Okay, so it balances itself out in the water.
Correct. So Lyell, what Lyell has here is he's got a 19 cubic foot aluminum cylinder, and it's mounted attached directly to the band of the main cylinder. And if you see, it just kind of slips in there, and then when you tighten up the top band, it holds it nice and firm. As we showed you in the previous video, he's got the nice DIN regulator set up. So again, it's nice and streamlined and small, not a lot of things hanging out. He's got a small pressure gauge here on a 6-inch high pressure hose. And then here he's got his secondary regulator, or this is going to be his redundant backup regulator. Now, one of the things that we've noticed with this is that when the bottle is mounted on the left side like this, it makes it a little awkward being a right-handed regulator. But the dive right regulator does have the ability to switch from a left-handed to a right-handed regulator. So that's one of the alterations that we're going to make here, is switch that regulator so it's a little bit more comfortable in the mouth. Right. And the reason that Lyell is wearing it on the left side, as you can see, he's got his standard regulator coming off the right, and he's also got his alternate coming off the right. So really, to have another regulator here would be just a little bit too much clutter. And so that's why we decided we wanted to mount it on the left. Now, the one other thing that we could look at doing too here is we have a little bit of hose hanging here. We may take and even move this up to a clip here to just take up some of the slack in that hose, so there isn't an area where he can get entangled or caught up on. Perfect. But a great system of redundancy here, and this is a typical public safety diver setup.
Next up, let's get into Cane Bay, and we are going to work through some of the skills that you are going to be required to do during your self-reliant course. so we descend over the wall of Cane Bay. Mark is there to adjudicate our instructor skills. First up is our surface air consumption calculation. A level dive at 50 feet for 10 minutes, calculating our gas pressure every minute along the way. Then it's on to switching to our redundant air source. First, I'm asked to simulate a free-flowing regulator and switch to my redundant source. Jeff is then asked to simulate an out-of-air scenario and switch to his redundant air source. Then he's asked to neatly pack it all back together again. Jeff now provides me with coordinates for navigation. He also provides me with the number of fin kicks he's requiring. He'll carry out several different navigation scenarios, both compass and natural navigation. Swimming without your mask for 2 full minutes is no easy task. Jeff makes it look really easy here, but it really shows you the reason why we always carry an extra mask as a solo diver. SMB skills are a must for solo diving. Here I'm asked to put up an SMB from about 30 feet down and establish its buoyancy. I also learned a really neat trick using my bolt snap to wind in my SMB as I ascend to the surface. So, dive 1 and 2, skills done. Let's chat a little bit about that with the guys. Task loading. Mark threw some tasks at us today, multiple things at the same time.
Yeah, so, self-reliant diver, what we want to do is, first of all, we want to ensure that the diver is a good, solid diver, confident diver. We're teaching you about redundant air systems and other redundant systems. We're really getting into more gas management and advanced dive planning. And of course, you're going to encounter some challenges, and we want to make sure that you're up for those challenges. And both you guys did an excellent job today. And of course, also being able to deploy a surface marker buoy from depth.
Right.
As we all know, it's a skill that we really don't practice that much. So in this class, we're doing it on every dive.
Yeah, it was really good to practice that again and just do it in different, inflate it in different methods.
Yeah. I mean, I learned something new today and how you inflated yours. So.
And of course, the most important thing, support your local dive center.
I think you said that last time. On your very last dive, as a self-reliant / solo diver, your instructor is going to put you in the water and expect you to plan and execute that dive all by yourself. Let's see what happens. When Jeff and I reached our descent point, we both said goodbye to each other. It's a little disconcerting watching your buddy swim off into the distance, but it's time to be a self-reliant diver and head out on your own adventure. You put together the dive plan, you've put in the hard work, you're trained, you're prepared. It's time to relish in the glory of the underwater world that we all love, this time completely alone as a solo diver. Jeff and I had both planned a 30-minute dive at 50 feet, and it just so happened we both navigated back to the ascent point at the exact same time. Putting up our SMB from neutral buoyancy at 15 feet to get our safety stop in, it was time to surface and celebrate. I have to tell you, the first time that you are sent out all by yourself, completely alone, at 50 feet, hanging over a wall or wherever you might be diving, there's a few thoughts that go through your head. But you have been adequately prepared. Your instructor, and I as an instructor, certainly wouldn't let someone complete that dive if I didn't feel that they had proven to me during classroom, during gear setup, and during their first two dives that they didn't have what it took. So that's been a great look at the actual course. We've worked our way through the gear, we've worked our way through the classroom session, and the skills involved in the course itself. Next up, I am going to talk to you about Zen and the art of solo diving. Click the link up above.